Welcome to Time with Theresa Around the World, bringing you up close and personal conversations with Christian leaders, authors, artists, filmmakers, talents, and celebrities from across the globe. Theresa and her guests are sure to warm your heart and encourage your soul. And now, your host, Theresa Westbrook.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. Let me tell you right up front, you're going to want to share this program with all your friends and family because we have breaking news to share about an awesome streaming series coming soon called Struck. And I'm so happy to have one of the producers and stars from Struck, Benjamin Dane, with us to tell us more about the series. Welcome, Benjamin.
Hey, Theresa, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. And I'm so excited to have you. And I'm so excited about this new series. But before we begin discussing that, Ben, why don't you go ahead and take a minute and share with our viewers more about your career background and a little bit more about yourself?
Well, I am so excited to be here to share this exciting news about Struck. But yeah, I started in community theater. I grew up in Houston, Texas. I did a lot of Christian theater as well growing up, and it's where I felt in my 20s. I felt like, I could do this and still minister to people. So it was kind of like my newfound talent. I could be on stage and I could still minister. So I thought that was really cool, like the combination of acting and ministry. I started doing other plays and things. I actually played Jesus probably, I don't know, in 10 different productions. It was like a run on. I mean, I just kept playing Jesus. And it was like, that's the Jesus guy. Let's hire him. And so I played Jesus in several passion plays. So that was really great. And then it worked into a secular career. I was in my first major film was on CBS. And then I worked on JFK and was in downtown Dallas and shot Oliver Stone's JFK. That was incredible. Friday Night Lights. But all of that led into also a faith-based career too, where I met Andy Labrizi. We worked on a film called Holding On, and then later did a film I executive produced and also starred in called Beyond the Farthest Star. And Theresa, I remember you were a theater captain when Beyond the Farthest Star was being released. So it was a wonderful, wonderful film, one of the highlights of my career. And then I just finished a film a couple of years back called First Lady, where I got to play the president.
Yes, that was awesome too. And I got to do some red carpet audience reactions to that. And I loved both of those films. So, Ben, I'm just amazed. I know that you also own and operate several businesses and you're involved in many projects. So it continues to amaze me that you find time to include acting into your crowded schedule. So well done. Uh,
Well, thank you.
well, okay, let's go ahead and share with the audience, how did the concept of Struck come about?
Yeah, so Struck was basically Sue Ellen's concept, Sue Ellen Roberts, and a lot of people know Sue Ellen. She runs and operates the SWIMA organization, and she's been in media for many years. But she actually met John and Dalton Morris through her church. They attend the same church, and she found out more about his story. And so she thought, this would make an incredible movie because this is the man that devoted his life to creationism and did all of these expeditions looking for the Ark of Noah. So she thought, what an incredible epic adventure this could be if she could get the story rights. And so she had to talk to John Adalta about her idea about creating a movie, but it went from a movie to then a series. But it wasn't until John just really, he's a very humble man, and he did not want any part of it, honestly. He's like, my life is not that thrilling. And we're like, okay, you were struck by lightning, you were fighting off dogs. I mean, all the expeditions you did, yeah, right. But when he found out that they wanted to also tell the story of Noah, that's when he came on board and said, you know what, this is just incredible. I'm going to be a part of this. I think it needs to be told. And then it kind of evolved from a movie into a series.
A TV series. So there's no plans for the movie then, just TV series, streaming series, correct?
Yes, a streaming series.
Okay. Well, I'm very intrigued about the storyline. So go ahead and tell our viewers more about the storyline, which is quite unique, paralleling two timelines.
It really is. So it is the true life story of John D. Morris. Now, he's a geologist, but he's kind of like this modern day Indiana Jones, like I said, but he was struck by God to find evidence of Noah's Ark. And then we intertwine that story with the true account of Noah and a world ending flood, and that Noah was also struck by God to build an ark to save mankind and all creation.
Wow, that's so exciting. Well, all right. Why don't we share the trailer with our viewers now?
We need to get out of the storm! We're in the middle of the storm cloud! I need to find shelter! Maybe we should go back! Get out of here! No! No, we've come too far!
Thought this might be of interest to you.
The Ark. Real page turner.
Just read it, let me know what you think.
Dad, isn't this the type of thing that got you kicked out of Virginia Tech?
I'm here for another matter. I have the other wood, the small timbers, but I need the largest timbers for the interior supports. No. Jehovah is God. Noah. And he is bringing his judgment to the earth. He's covering it completely with a flood. He commanded me to build this ship. I need those timbers!
Look at me, the one! You know this!
There it is.
Jehovah owns everything we see. He will provide me those timbers.
Those timbers are mine.
You should have seen their faces when I got to the part about being hit by lightning.
That's always a crowd pleaser.
Maybe we should go back! Get out of here! Jimmy!
John?
So when I was struck and I was lying there and I thought that I was gonna die.
But
I heard God say, praise me, praise me.
I feel like I failed you.
I don't know what's gonna happen with my MS.
John,
It's bleak.
I feel so lost.
We are not lost. We are together.
I could end up in a wheelchair in a year or so. I could get so bad that I can't provide for you or raise kids.
I wanted to do more.
When I met you, I believed in you. And then because of who you are and how you are, I believed in Jehovah.
So if God has given you the grace to get this far, then He will give us the grace to make this work.
We are in the center of His will. And you are His light in my life.
It took a lot to get here. But by God's grace, here we are.
So, guys, if it's up there, if it's up there and we find it,
Yeah?
what happens then?
We changed the world.
We change the world!
Wow, after seeing this intriguing trailer, I can't wait to see Struck. It's awesome.
I know. It's so exciting. I mean, it's so exhilarating. It truly is an epic adventure, and it's never been told like this before. I mean, we've seen other productions. There's this one out there that I won't mention that had rock monsters. Um,
Was that their,
but
I haven't seen that film, but was that their version of the Nephilim?
I don't think so. I don't really know what it was, honestly. When Hollywood tries to do the Bible, it doesn't always turn out very well. But here's the thing about this, it really is an epic adventure. And we're going to show, I mean, all the special effects and all the things that I mean, a lot of people don't know about what the pre-flood world was like. I mean, we haven't seen that really on film yet. But here's the extraordinary thing about the project is we're going to show the human element of the drama as well. There were some powerful people in Noah's life and also in John's life that we don't know about. Dalta is an incredible lady, and we're going to see more of his family life. We're going to see how Dalta and him were this an amazing team together. And then also you think about Noah. He had a family, he had a wife, he had 3 sons. What was his family like, and what was that dynamic all about?
Yes, yes. And so it is based on the true story of John D. Morris.
It is, yes,
Based
yes.
on it. Okay. And just,
Yes, so it is, here's the thing. John unfortunately passed away right after we did the principal photography in January, but we have Dalta. And Dalta, I had a chance to meet John before he passed, and have got to know Dalta. Just an extraordinary lady, and she has so many stories. I mean, this man literally was driven by the Lord to find any evidence he could on creationism. And his father and he built this amazing research institute on specifically creationism and young earth. And so he devoted his life, but with something like that, he sacrificed his reputation. Can you imagine? I mean, we're taught evolution in school. We're taught that there was this other way, and the world is millions of years old. But it shook the foundation of the world and the science world when John said, no, that's not the way it was. I believe in what the Bible says. I mean, his team was struck by lightning. There was 13 harrowing expeditions to Mount Ararat. He did extensive research, not just on the Mount Ararat, but in the Grand Canyon. The Institute for Creation Research that he started with his father, Dr. Henry Morris, they've done incredible research, and there's so much evidence that the world doesn't even know about. But I mean, this man was fighting off wild dogs, dodging bullets and avalanches. he really was this just this awesome adventurer. You know, it was like he was really the authentic Indiana Jones.
Yes, that sounds exciting. Man, I wish cameras were following him around during that time, don't you?
I know, I know, and there is some footage and some photography from some of those expeditions, but we're going to share that on the website as well.
Oh, yes, that'll be exciting. And to our viewers, I've gone to the website and there is so much information. You can find out so much about the Struck series coming your way. So, and Ben, just tell us a little bit more about. Okay, so Sue Ellen, the concept came through Sue Ellen, who knew
Yeah.
the Morse Delta and John. But now, who is doing the writing? Who's writing the story?
So Wes and Amanda Llewellyn I mean, they're pioneers in Christian filmmaking. They are this powerhouse of a team. They're this couple that are married, and they've joined their efforts and their talents together. They are the writers, producers, and director of Struck the Series. And you can go to strucktheseries.com and see the awesome, epic, stellar proof of concept video that we've done to date. So you can see what you saw earlier. You can see it again at strucktheseries.com. And but here on the site, you can also kind of delve in, find out about a little bit more about this ambitious project. We just came back from NRB where we presented and pitched the series to distributors, and they're very excited about what we're doing. And our next goal is crowdfunding. So that's what we want to start doing right away, immediately, to work on also the torch video that we have to present to distributors, which is an expanded proof of concept. The 5 minute sizzle reel proof of concept is available now, so you can see that. It kind of gives you a glimpse into what we're doing and the project itself. But you can see a cast list. You can see who's involved in it, the team members there at the site. But we're currently also editing additional footage for this torch video that will be completed in the fall. So you've got to go to the Struck website, strucktheseries.com, and see more about it.
Yes, and there's a lot of information there on the website now, but it will be growing in the days ahead. Like you said, you're going to have the torch. I'm not familiar with that term, but the torch trailer, I guess, coming soon by the fall that they can see. But there'll be continual information coming up, I'm sure, on that website and keeping that going. So basically, you're in the pre-production stages, correct?
Yes. So what happens is this is a little bit unusual, honestly, because what happens normally is the proof of concept is actually only shown to distributors. So this kind of opens up the window a little bit, so audiences, fans, and people can see a little bit more about what goes on behind the process of the concept, how it's all put together. So right now we are constantly working. There's several things that we're doing, but this proof of concept video was the same proof of concept video that we showed to distributors. We also won a People's Choice Award at NRB, which is incredible. So excited about that
Yes.
because it just says, and I'm telling you, Theresa, there was so much competition in this division that we were in this competition. You would not believe the incredible productions, and praise God, these things are being produced. But we were pitted against some great competitors there. They were so good, and we won. The audience selected Struck as the best series. So we won that award at NRB, and during that time, we were pitching the series to distributors and getting their insight But literally, you can go to the site now and you can sign up to be a Lightning Club member. And what that does, it gives you access to the latest information that's out. You also we're working on right now a newsletter that will come out. So if you go online and sign up to be a Lightning Club member, you will be the first to receive the newsletter that will give you updates, the latest information and developments on the project. And then you can pray for us. Please pray for us, because you can just imagine I mean, there have been some huge attacks against us, and we haven't even gotten started yet. But you can really be a prayer partner. And then also, this is going to be a crowdfunding project, just like The Chosen, that everyone knows about. The Chosen. The Chosen started as a crowdfunded project where fans and everything got involved, and they gave and donated, and whatever the amount was, some people could give $5, some could give $5,000, but everyone contributed. And when you see Struck, you see this long list of contributors and people that gave to make that happen. Now Struck is now The Chosen is around the world, but Struck needs to also be around the world. It really is the next streaming epic adventure series that's going to be out there. But you can imagine the cost of something like this. I mean, to do something like Lucas Sound and Indiana Jones and Star Wars, that type of special effects is going to be daunting for us. We are hiring some of the best people, state of the art imagery and visions that can be splashed across the screen to create these. I mean, we've got people climbing mountains with avalanches. We've got the ark that's going to be flooded. The whole world's going to flood. We've got to do some amazing things. And so we really need you to make it happen. And honestly, Theresa, what can happen is that your viewers, this is the cool thing. They can be a part of this epic adventure. They can make it happen. You can get Struck to series and make this epic adventure series a reality. And because, I mean, listen, we're not all preachers, we're not all teachers, but if you give a little bit of just a little to this project, you can see it expanded. And because you did it, you can light a candle in the darkness and spread the truth around the world with this epic new series.
Yes, that's a very great point, Ben. It's really inviting anyone and everyone who believes in the message to become a part of making a TV series. Now, how many
Yes.
times do we get that opportunity? The opportunity was given through Chosen, and now another opportunity is coming up with Struck. And I just believe that the secular media is going to want to see this, as well as our faith-based community will want to see it, because I think it's going to have that excitement that you find in those adventure films and movies.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of that out there for faith-based audiences, but because this is an Old Testament story as well as a New Testament story, I think it's going to bridge the gap and be an adventure that everyone wants to see. And the cool thing is behind the science element that's going to be interlocked as well. It truly is going to be something that we've never seen in entertainment before. Um,
Right.
and here's the deal too, Theresa. There's so much darkness out there, and we complain every day about the entertainment that we see. We see what's being done to our children. We see the darkness that is alive and well on every screen and on our phones now. I mean, it surrounds us, but we need to be a part of something that can change the world for good, to bring good stories to life, to bring a true story, a story that really happened, and connect it back to a biblical story that really happened.
Yes, yes, two amazing people, John Morris and Noah. And you know what, Ben? I just feel like y'all need to get up there to Kentucky to the Ark and connect with them, because I think you're going to need that Ark.
It's pretty impressive, that whole thing. And I met Ken Ham at John's memorial, and just what a fascinating man he is, and what they've done with the Ark experience, and both Wes and Amanda on creating this whole concept. And they've done so much research. But one of the things that they did is they took a trip up there and they toured the Ark there, and actually. One of the elements that they discovered in the Ark, and I won't say what it is, but it's in our story. And so you're going to see that come to life in the story of Struck. And, I didn't say this before, but Cameron Arnett, I'm telling you, the cast involved in this series is awesome. I mean, it is just so incredible. We've got Cameron Arnett, who plays Noah's nemesis, and he does such an incredible job, an amazing job.
Yes, and some of his past works. Mention a couple of his past works for our audiences.
So yes, he was just in Nefarious, the film that was released out in cinemas just recently, and he was in Overcomer by the Kendrick brothers. He was a lead in that, and he just was announced that he's also a lead in the newest Kendrick brothers movie. So he is an amazing actor, and I am so thrilled that he's involved with Struck. But we've got Todd Terry, who I worked with before. Todd Terry plays the real life JB, who was one of the climbers that was struck by lightning with John. Todd is involved as well, and Todd was involved in Beyond the Farthest Star. So it's great. We're going to have a chance to work together again on Struck. And just the women in this series are so important. If Sue Ellen's involved, women are an integral part of what she does. And so we have got some amazing, powerful women of God that are involved. The character of Alora, who is the wife of Noah, is really fleshed out in this series. These women, and Dalta, who the woman behind John, these women really uplifted these men and really were such a powerhouse behind these men of God.
Yes, there's always a good woman behind a good man. Well, you know what?
That's
We
right.
got to scoot along, but I want our audiences and our listeners to understand that these faith-based films can be used as missionaries going out into all the world. And all of these great faith-based projects, books, movies, films, TV, radio, anything are missionaries to go into the world, and it's worthy of our support. So thank you so much, Ben, for coming and taking time to share Struck with our audiences. We wish you continued success with all your endeavors, and I hope you're going to be able to come back soon and share more about Struck.
You bet, Theresa. Thanks so much.
Well, be sure to tune in for episode 2 of my interview with actor and producer Benjamin Dane as we discuss his role as Noah and more about the Struck series. You don't want to miss it. Let's continue to support Christian faith-affirming projects and share life-transforming media around the world. God bless you and keep you is our prayer.
Thanks for joining us. To find out more about Theresa and where the Time with Theresa Around the World TV and radio podcasts are streaming, visit TheresaWestbrook.com. For prayer, guests, and sponsorship opportunities, contact Theresa today. We look forward to hearing from you.